Hello, everyone. It is April 21st, 2017, and you're here for drumroll, Drama Free Friday. Welcome, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Hi, Judy. Judy, I sent you a message. I have a prize for you, but I don't have an address. So there you go. If you want to send it to me, I will be happy to send a little prize to you. It's all ready to go. Hello, Carla. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Vicky. Welcome, welcome. Good to have you guys here. Hello, Bella. Hi, Janet. Hi, Petka. Hi, Jennifer. Hey, Debbie. Oh, I scared you, Debbie? Boo! I came on loud. Oh, maybe you did, Judy. I missed it. If you did, I will check back. I didn't catch it if you did. So you might send it to me again. So you might respond once more. Hi, Patty. How's everybody doing today? Excuse me while I disappear into the table. I dropped something. Yeah, it's always good to drop things, huh? Hi, Signa. Debbie, it's good to see you. I haven't seen you for a while. You must be busy. You must have been a busy girl. I got on my crap shirt again because we're going to get messy today with stuff spilled down the front. Oh, well, you guys don't mind, right? Hi, Ina. Nice to see you. Okay, Judy, that's a deal. Judy, Janet's good? Good. Debbie's not working today. Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. Hello, Nancy. Nice to see you. Well, it's good. You guys, if you don't have to work for a day, you might as well just spend it here with me. Right? Hello, Christine. So we're just chatting for a minute while I drink some illegal fluids. I don't think Race is going to be here today, so I might have illegal fluids on the table a little longer today. You never know. Don't you love that cup? Isn't that a good cup? Imagine, huh? Oh, Patty's in recovery from resume and cover letter workshop. She needs Drama Free Friday. I will supply. Today is just going to be fun. Hey, Janet. Nice to see you. Hi, Shelley. Hi, Alice. Finally, Alice. Welcome. Oh, no. He's here. I thought he said he wasn't going to be here today. But no. Whoops, wait a minute. Okay. Let me respond to this just a second. Okay, let me kill my email program so it doesn't keep making racket here. Let's see, I don't think I have anything else up. Yeah, I can't believe he's here. He told me he wasn't going to be here. But there he is, right there in the chat, people. Yeah, he's here. He's here. That's okay. I'll take that. I'll take his appearance any way I can get it. Isn't that the truth, Patty? She says you shouldn't have mentioned his name. His antenna perked up. I can't even read the chat. Hi, Penn. Nice to see you. Cygnus says, I welcome you, Race. That's good. Me too. Hi, Dorothy. Hi, Cindy. Yeah, Cindy, it could be Coco. Any of you guys that happen to watch the recording that we did from the stream we did earlier this week, we were just testing. I know that people came into that and they're like, what in the world is this? So I got it I got it marked private so nobody can watch it because it was nothing but us testing. We were just testing stuff. Hi, Colleen. Oh, good. Welcome. And so Coco, the sponsor from LA, was present and accounted for, so he was visible. So I'm sure lots of people went, "What is this?" Well, it was nothing. We were just testing. But I really appreciate all of you guys that showed up on the spur of the moment and helped us test. That was great. Pen's been playing with the found relatives videos. Okay, good. Hi, Magdalena. Magdalena, if I don't say your name right, you can put it in phonetically so I'll say it correctly. So how's everybody doing today? It is Drama Free Friday here. It is always a good day in my house on Drama Free Friday. We're going to have a lot of fun today, I think. We're going to start this project today. We may not get it finished today, but we're going to start it. We're going to do some mixed media canvases, and I actually have 3 of them planned, so you know I'm not going to get them all done today. But I don't know. It's kind of that thing within me. Hey, Linda. Oh, Nancy, you're really very sweet. You're very sweet. It takes me, one of my friends one time says, the older I get, the longer it takes me to look decent. And I'm like, God, I understand that every week. I understand that. Hi, Jane. It's okay, Magdalena. Okay. Ooh. Must be going to kiss a fool. My nose is itching. Where was I? Yes, so we're going to do 3 mixed media canvases today. So we'll see where that goes. Hey, CB. Hi, Yvonne. Hi, Kathy. Be careful, CB. Race is in the audience, and Claus Man is lurking somewhere. So it's not just us girls today, let me say. It's not just us girls. Yes, so let's start out. I have some show and tell. You guys, I have received some incredible things over the years. I really have. Because you guys, Linda's making found relatives too. Wow. Hi, Kia. Yeah, CB has to be good. No, I didn't say it had to be good. It's that, you know the drill. Oh, goodness. Anyway, must be all the dust I breathed in this week trying to get ready for someone to come from Australia. Yeah, I had to do a little dust removal, shall we say? Patty, I don't believe you. Just saying, I don't believe you. Yvonne's making a Coptic stitch book. Really cool. I love doing Coptic stitch binding. Yeah. Patty's working on fabric paper. Cool. And Debbie's trying to lose relatives. Got any art for that? Yeah, I did a whole book about that, and it includes illustrations, Debbie. I know, Janet. Janet says all of our houses are clean thanks to Jen. Isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth? Artsy people are not known for being meticulous house cleaners, shall we say. Okay. Does it come with a strong gin and tonic? It came with several gallons of wine. Does that help? Oh, Patty's hand stitching instead of machine. Cool. That's great. Wonderful. Yes, Linda, you are. Linda says, I'm an artist. Yes, you are. Hey, Josie. Alice says, amen. My house is a mess. Yeah. I have my planner notebook. It's not here. It's downstairs someplace. And it says, the first page says, I once identified as a daughter and a sister. I now identify as an artist and creative, or something like that. It's like, it's the truth. It's the truth. Wine works, puts you to sleep. There you go. Cool, Linda. I can't wait to see. Okay, so here we go. I keep just getting distracted by the chat. So let's just do the little, beforehand thing. Because, I get carried away chatting with you guys. It's one of the few times that I get to do this, because the rest of the time I'm just catching bits and pieces of the chat. So, yeah. Hi, Nona. I hope your name is Nona. It's either Nona or Nana. I'm going to go for Nona. If that's not right, you can correct me. Yeah, that's right, Debbie. Tell him it's all my fault. I'll take the blame. No problem. Cygnus poster says clean tomorrow. That's right. Whoops, I missed that. Okay. CB, tell me if what works. Cleaning tomorrow. Nona? Okay. Okay, so let's do, while I still have my illegal fluids, let's just start Drama Free Friday, shall we? Okay, once again, the world went crazy this week. Actually, last night. And yeah, it did. And so that is all the more reason that we need Drama Free Friday, right? We need Drama Free Friday because the world is a little bit of an insane place, and sometimes it explodes into craziness. And so that's why we have Drama Free Friday. That's why I created the phrase Drama Free Friday, because if there's something you can do about the drama going out in the world, you need to go out there and do it. Otherwise, you need to probably take a break from it and turn off the television, turn off the news, and just take a break. Get rid of the barrage of stuff, And so we're going to just spend a couple of hours, 2 or 3 hours here. It just depends. Honestly, a lot of it depends on how long my voice holds up. Sometimes it depends on how much my brain holds up. Sometimes they give out at the same time. Sometimes one goes before the other. And so we have Drama Free Friday. And for any of you that are new to this channel, watching me, my name is Barb Owen. I own HowToGetCreative.com, which is a membership website filled with creativity. So we would love to have you join us over there. You can join at $1 for the first month, just $1 for the first month. Or, you can try it out. Or you can join at the monthly level, or you can join as a VIP. And honestly, we have lots of people that come in as a $1 trial member, and they jump from that, they leapfrog up to the VIP member. And the reason I don't know, you'd have to ask some of them, but I think the reason that they do that is because they get a little break in the price doing that, and which is not a small thing. And also we have a live class where everybody can participate in the live class with me every month. So that, I think there's other perks that come with that too. But anyway, you are invited to come over and check us out there. In the meantime, we do this show every Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern, and it's usually, like I said, 2 or 3 hours, and we just play around. You never know what's going to happen because, to be honest, I never know what's going to happen, usually till about Wednesday night or Thursday morning, sometimes Thursday night. Yes. And so there you go. So this one is going to be a fun one. We're going to do some mixed media canvases today. We're going to start them. We will not get them finished, so I'll try to finish them with you next week, if I can leave them alone between now and then. Okay. So, as I started to say a little bit ago, I have received some lovely, happy mail from people, gifts that people have sent to me over the years. I don't know why my nose is itching so much. But I'm going to tell you something. This one knocked my socks off to the point that I just speechless. I've had that happen a few times. This was one of those times. And this is from Sue Hills. And she's in the UK. And she wrote me a lovely, lovely letter. Both pages. Lovely letter. And so I'm not going to read you the letter, but I have it out here so I can tell you the name of something. But in this package, which I wasn't expecting, I had no idea it was coming. So when I went to the post office box, which I don't do very often, when I went there, and the postman handed me this package, I'm like, I was looking at the address and I'm trying to think, did I order something? Did I sleep order something? What is this? Where is this from? I didn't recognize the name or the address or anything, right? Nothing. And so I went and opened it, and I was totally stunned. Okay, you ready? Are you guys ready? Look. Look at this. Janet, clutch your pearls. It's not a monkey, but these are so adorable. You're going to be wanting them. Okay. Yes. So look at this. Look at this. Folks, this is hand knitted. Every bit of this is hand knitted. Okay? This bunny has on knitted sneakers. Knitted sneakers. And I was trying to figure out how she did it, and I can't even figure it out. If they are knitted onto the leg, I just can't tell for sure. I think they might be attached after the fact. But look at those. Look at those little sneakers. Okay, we're just gonna take a real good look at this. The body is completely knitted. The little shorts. Those of you that are familiar with knitting, this is a short row pattern. This is not just like a piece of knitting that's been cut and serged together, which is exactly what I would have done. No, this is knitted and shaped, and there is a hole. I don't know if I can tell you. This is probably not proper to show you this, but I have to. There's a hole knitted for his little tail, which is knitted. And his little sweater, I think it's called a jumper. This is made by a girl named Sue Hills in the UK. Look at his face. Look at that little rabbit's face. 2 colors, okay? And the ears. Look at the ears. The ears are done in garter stitch, I think. It's either garter stitch or seed stitch. I'm not totally sure. I think it's garter stitch, but I'm not sure. But look at the way that she sewed them on so that they're little, they're pleated and they have that little cup in the ear. The shirt, yes, the shorts and the jumper are separate, so they are removable. The little shoes are not. But look at that. Okay? Now, that's not all, because he has a wife. Look, he has a wife. And you'll understand why I say wife in a minute. But look, again, totally knitted. She has knitted shoes with little yarn buttons. So she has little knitted Mary Jane shoes. Okay? She has skills, people. Yes, she does. Look at this dress. It has a lace pattern at the bottom. So it's got a ruffle. The little dress has a ruffle. It is all, I'm assuming she started from the bottom up. I don't know that. But it's all decreased to shape, it's just unbelievable. Right? Look at that face. Look at the face. And then look. She has little knitted undies. Hi, Josie Card Chick. Look, and her little tail. But her underwear are knitted on. I think. Best I can tell. I'm telling you. Okay, so this is the mama bunny. This is the papa bunny. They don't have names. I didn't get names, but not mama bunny and papa bunny. Are you ready for it? Are you ready for it? And the baby bunny. The baby bunny. Yeah, I know, Linda. Right? Look at this tiny little baby bunny. I can't even imagine this. Okay? Can't even imagine this. I don't know if she sells them. I really don't. Look at this tiny little bitty bunny. With a headband. Okay, that's a knitted headband, folks. That's a knitted headband. With little tiny pleated ears, just like the big ones. With a little knitted dress. She has knitted undies, just like the big mama. I know, Dorothy. I know. Sue, if you're watching this recording, everyone is saying gorgeous, lovely, love them, do you sell them, etc., etc. Now, they did come from a pattern. She said they, and she says she hopes, okay, are you ready for this? She says she hopes that I like them. Let me be very clear about this. I don't like them. I love them. I love them. I do. They are adorable. So these came from a pattern called littlecottonrabbits.com by Julie. I think it's Julie or Julia. I'm not sure. I think it's Julie Williams. Okay. Little Cotton Rabbits. All one word. littlecottonrabbits.com. Let me see if I can show it to you real close. It's right. I'm going to zoom in as tight as I can get it. Okay, there it is right there. littlecottonrabbits.com. Hi, Monique. Nice to see you. I just think they are adorable. I'm telling you. Yeah, I'm telling you. I was so blown away. I rarely am I just completely speechless. But Claus Man can attest that we were sitting having coffee as I was opening it, and he's looking at him. He's looking at me, looking at him, and I'm going. I don't have words. I don't have words. They are so cute. Okay, so look. Look at them. Janet, are you clutching your pearls? Janet Merle. Are you clutching your pearls, Janet? Aren't you jealous? Aren't they cute? So we have new mascots in the studio to go with Caitlin. This is made by my granddaughter, and I love these floppy little, look her head's floppy. Isn't she cute? With her little whatever these are called. So this is in honor of April, I think, is the giraffe that finally had that baby. Yeah, Clausman says my eyes started leaking. I just was stunned. I'm not kidding. So we have new mascots in the studio. New drama-free Friday mascots. So Sue, I can't say too much or I'll start leaking again. So thank you so very much. They are beyond words. Beyond words. So I'm going to put them up high so that we don't get any chance of any kind of sloshage. Yeah. So what did Janet say? Did she say anything? She's clutching her pearls and hyperventilating. I knew you would. I knew you would. That's why I had to say that. Janet Merle, J Merle, oh, she go by J Merle in the chat here. Let me see. Janet M. Young in the chat. She is a sock monkey fanatic, along with a few other people. And I haven't taunted her with anything that I have, but I just had to do this today because I'm mean. That's why. Hello, Shoo. It is indeed Drama Free Friday again. Okay, so I had to show those to you. So, time for a blatant commercial. I'll do it quickly. Last week we cracked out our new Mandala books. This is the newest. This is the original book that started all. Mandala Melange. This is version 2.0. Has new patterns in it, additional patterns. Mandala Medley. That's the brand new book. And then Mandala Madness is the free ebook. So there's a link in the description box below where you're watching me, so you can find out about those. I thought I would show you the ones that I have been doing. I have my camera set up pretty high today for what we're doing, and so we'll see if we can. So you're going to get a kind of a far away look, but you'll get to see them both at the same time, so that's all right. So this is a Dilutions journal. This is the black square Dilutions journal. That's right. You tell him, Nancy. You just keep telling him. Janet. So what I have in here is a variety of mandalas that I've just been doing at night when I was watching TV and stuff. And so I just thought I would show them to you because it's one way to display your mandalas. And so this one is the Dahlia mandala. And what I've done in here is I've written in the back what I used, the materials I used, so that I could remember. Because, you know, memories only last so long. So this one is the Dahlia mandala. This is from Mandala Medley, the newest book. This is the Zinnia mandala from Mandala Melange. This one is done with gelatos and gel pens. So all the color in here is gelatos. And then all of the detail work is done with gel pens. Oh, good, Signa. Signa said she got the free book. Good, great. Hey, Michelle. Michelle says my voice relaxes her, so she's working and lurking. Well, good. So this is the Zinnia mandala. This one is all done with Pitt pens, the Pitt Artist Brush pens, and gel pens. Mostly paint pens, a little bit of gel pen, but mostly the black and white is all gel pen or paint pen. Oh, if I could learn to talk. This one is the one that we did last week, and this is the Diamonds and Arrows mandala. So I did, we did a drawing. Actually, Race did a drawing. Yes. Race did a drawing on my behalf. And gave this mandala away. So I decided I would keep this one and do a new one for Nanette, who won the drawing. So that one is on its way to Nanette. Anyway, that was funny. So Race is, if you see the thing in the chat that says Nightbot, that's because Race is in there messing around. That's okay. Just don't pay it. Just ignore it. Watch out, people. He might give something else away again. What do I watch on TV? Mostly I watch sports. I know, hard to believe. Mostly I am watching baseball right now. I like basketball and baseball. Yeah, Race is in there testing again. So if you see Nightbot, don't worry about it. It's okay. So this piece right here is what we did last week, and then I cut it out. I put it in the journal, and because it was significantly smaller from this one, because I printed it out smaller, I added a design around the edge with a gold gel pen. So this is all done with gel pens. I'll show them to you close up in a minute. This one is Diamonds and Arrows from Mandala Medley. Oh, thank you. No, it's not being trolled. It's the Nightbot. The Nightbot is the night watchman. Sandy Jones. Hey, girl. Wait a minute. I just have to say this face to face. Sandy Jones, it's so good to see you. Where have you been? It's good to see you. Welcome. All right. Back to the mandalas. That's right, Janet. This one is Petal Mandala. This is from Mandala Melange. So this is from the first book. Again, this one is done, both of these are done with the Pitt Artist pens, and then done with, this one's done with gel pens. This one has paint pens and gel pens, mostly paint pens on this. This one is done with Neocolor 2. Oh, good. It's good to see you. Oh, thank you, Light and Laughter. I don't know your name, but thank you. Hi, Dolores. You are welcome. Oh, good. Dolores says she likes the free mandalas and she's going to put them in a black journal. That's great. Hey, Miss Allie. So I'm trying to catch people as they're coming in. Yeah, sparkle poop pills. That's right. Debbie sent me sparkle poop pills. I have those in a safe place because I might need to recycle them sometime. So this one is done with Neocolor 2 crayons that I took the pigment from the crayon and colored in, painted the pigment on, then I went over it with gel pens. This one is the Pitt Artist pens and shaded with Inktense pencils, and then over the top of it with gel pens. So you can see when I told you guys, and I have said this many times, but doing mandalas, especially the ones where the patterns are already done for you, like in the books, it's a great way to explore your art supplies. A really fun way to do that. And so that's one of the reasons that's one of the ways I see people using them. Okay, so then the next one is, thank you, Shu, Sylvia. Okay, wait a minute. Let me write that down before I miss it. Hold on. Light and Laughter, Sylvia. Okay. I didn't go anywhere. I just need to write a note. Before the Inktense was the Pitt Artist pens. The big brush pens and the small Pitt Artist pens. The brush pens, that's what I used. This one is just printed out. All of these are printed on white cardstock. And this one I used one Inktense pencil, and that was the Payne's Gray Inktense pencil. So all of the shading, that was the only pencil I used, and then activated it with a water brush, and then all of the detail embellishment stuff is done with a black gel pen. That's all that's on here. And this is called the Eastern Flower Mandala from Mandala Medley. Okay, so that's what they look like far away. I'll give you a quick close-up of them just so you can kind of see the detail in some of them. And by the way, I would suggest strongly that when you glue these, that's probably a little close, hey? When you glue these into a journal, I highly recommend that you add some kind of a double-sided tape on the back of these rather than glue. It's extremely hard, because I've done it. It's extremely hard to glue these in on black and be so neat that the glue doesn't seep out. And if the glue seeps out on this black paper, it shows. So just saying. Okay, so there is the, this is the one, try to get the light glare off of it. This is the one done with gelatos. Okay, so that's gelatos and gel pens. This one right here. This one is done with the Pitt pens, and then the detail work is done mostly with paint pens, and then some gel pen stuff around the edges. And also you'll notice when you close your book, see this right here? When you close your book in this with this black paper, there may be a way to avoid this, but I haven't discovered it yet. The white pen, this is the white Uniball pen that I used here. So this is a gel pen. And I don't know if it doesn't completely dry on this paper or what, but it does rub off on this, on the opposing side. So I may come in here and doodle some more stuff to cover that up. But anyway, this is the one we did last week. This is Pitt Artist Pens and Gel Pens. The black really shows them off, so that is why I'm showing them to you this way. Now, I've done them lots of different ways. I've mounted them on colorful cardstock. I've done all different kinds of things with them, but this is one way that, you know, when I'm watching TV, I can do something and not feel like a slug. So this one is done with the Pitt Artist Pens and mostly the paint pen embellishment with a little bit of gel pen here and there. Hi, Roesta. I have not sprayed them with a fixative after the fact, so no, I have not done that, but that may solve the problem. This one's the one done with Neocolor 2 and gel pens. So Neocolor 2 is a water-soluble crayon. Then I picked up the pigment from the crayon, directly from the crayon with the water brush. This one is Pitt Artist Pens, the big brush pens, and then shaded a little bit using a little bit of the Inktense pencils. Oh, good question for me. Okay, Mirror. Okay, let me scroll back and see. Gel pens work over gelatos. If they're fully activated, Mirror asked the question if the gel pens worked over the gelatos. The way that I was working with them is I was scribbling the gelatos off on my palette paper and then picking them up with my water brush and applying them, because this is cardstock. This is not watercolor paper. Okay, so cardstock is not highly receptive to water. And so I picked up the pigment from the palette with my water brush and used it to apply the pigment onto the cardstock. So by the time I was finished applying the pigment, you know, all of the waxy quality I found was gone. So sometimes you do get a little waxy quality from the gelatos, and you can even get some waxiness from the Neocolor 2s. So, you know, it just depends on how you put it down and how thick it is. So you might have to just practice, you know, play around with it, you know, because we all use our supplies differently. I can show you how I do stuff. That doesn't mean that you're not going to do it a little differently than I did. Okay. So Nancy says she did hers on Bristol paper and then painted the background black all around. And that's another great solution too. Absolutely. Okay, so this one is the one done with the big brush, the Faber-Castell big brush artist pens and the small ones. They're all the brush pens. And this is detailed out in the gel pens. So you can see I did some detail work around the sides. And if I ran out of room, I just acted like it went, you know, to the other page. And this is the one that is printed on cardstock. And this is what I did here is I have, this is white cardstock. It's 110-pound cardstock. I have a very inexpensive Brother laser printer that I bought at Walmart for less than $70. Now, bear in mind that the less you pay for a printer, the more of a pain it's going to be to integrate into your network if you have one in your house. So the technical department had to kind of work through some shenanigans with that. If you have a computer that you can plug right into it, no problem. But it's a little bit of a pain with the wireless situation. Anyway, I digress. I printed it out on 110-pound cardstock and sprayed it right away with Krylon workable fixative. And that fixed the toner to make sure it wasn't going to come off the paper, cardstock. Okay. So this one is printed out on the toner laser printer, which has a toner cartridge in it. And this one, all of the shading that you see is done with one pencil, and that pencil is the Payne's Gray Inktense pencil. Then I activated the pigment with a water brush, let it completely dry, and the water brush, the one I was using, does not dispense very much water. And so because of that, it dried very quickly. And then I went back and I did all the detail work using the black gel pen. So that is all that's on there. It's one pencil and one pen. That's it. Okay? All right. So that's where we are in that. So I just thought I would show you that. I don't really know where this was. Maybe in here. Anyway, so I think that's kind of a good use for this black journal. I've done some other things in it too, but I just think I might just fill it up with mandalas. Yeah. All right. So anybody have any questions before we move on? Thanks, everybody. Hi, Laura. Nice to see you. And hello to anyone that I might have missed. Laura is Art Anxiety. Monique says she plugs hers directly in so she didn't mess with the network. Yeah. I mean, every printer is different, but my experience has been, it's just my experience. The less they cost, the less the printer costs, the more of a kind of a pain they can be to integrate into things. And we have multiple computers because of the streaming setup and all of that. So, it gets a little tricky. Anyway, okay, so let's move on, shall we? I'll give you a sneak peek. I am going to show you how to do this, but I will give you a sneak peek as to where we're headed, so you have some idea where we're headed. Some of you may have been with me long enough, or on the membership, in the member website, you will have seen... I will show you in the member website how to draw these. It's a whole class on how to draw these. These are inspired from a class that I took with Carla Sonheim, but Carla Sonheim? Suddenly her name, that didn't sound right. Is that right? I think it is. So these were inspired, kind of a jumping off thing from what I did with Carla, and then I did a whole other spin-off of teaching people how to draw, people that don't think they can draw. Anyway, that's a whole other subject. So these are some of the drawings that I have, okay? So from this one, I blew it up. No, Patty, they're not created with software. They're all hand-drawn. Yeah, they're all hand-drawn. Another question. Dorothy says one of the best paintings that she ever saw was a single blade of grass done only in Payne's Gray. That's cool. Let's see, what was the other question? Gluing of the mandalas into the black book. I'm not sure, Signa, if you're asking me how I glued them in, but what I used that works the best, I found, is to use a double-sided tape as opposed to glue. I did use glue, and the glue, it's just impossible to keep the glue from seeping out some places. The black book was the Dilution Square Journal, which, by the way, did you guys know, I don't know if you guys know this or not, on YouTube, when someone's broadcasting live, you can actually scroll back in real time. You can drag the little slider at the bottom. You can drag it back, and you can go back, I think it's 30 minutes. So if you miss something, that's another way to find out. I don't mind answering questions. I'm not saying that. But that is another way to find out, if you go, because I know how it is. I can be watching somebody, and all of a sudden I go, what'd she say? And it's kind of handy to be able to do that. So anyway, okay, back to kitties. Okay, there it is. Race is playing with Nightbot. But that was the Dilution Square Journal. That's what it was, from Diane Reevely. Okay, so I took this pattern, I blew it up. This happens to be 165% because that seemed to be what I liked. From that, I took my handmade fabrics and I created a sponsor. Yes, so this is a portrait of a sponsor. I will be showing you how to do this. I don't know if we'll get to it today or not, but we might. We might. Not a sponsor. We're gonna do a dog, but anyway. So, and this is every bit of the fabric on here is stuff that I created. Well, we don't want to leave Charlie out, right? So this is a rendition of Chance, who's not really that thin. But here is a rendition of Charlie. Yeah, using glue is difficult. Well, yeah. So this is a rendition of Charlie that I blew up to 165%. This is just done on my home printer. And then from there, I created a fat sponsor. Again, this is many of you have probably watched me do many of these fabrics on stream. This one I know I did on stream. Some of them are jelly plate printed. Some of them are just painted and stenciled and whatever. Yeah, so we have two sponsors here that we're going to put on canvases. They're all fabric. There is some stitching on them. And we're going to put them on canvases. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to prepare the canvases, the canvas backgrounds. And that's why I've got my camera up pretty high today. So we're going to play around with the, sorry, messing with the camera a minute. We're going to mess around with doing canvas backgrounds. And then I have, because Muppet doesn't want to be left out. So Muppet wants to have a rendition of herself too. So yeah, so there you go. Okay, so we're going to mess around first of all with background. All right. So I don't know if there's any questions. Be sure that you put them in caps and I'll try to catch them. It's not a guarantee, but I'll try. Okay, so what I'm going to do to start with is I'm just going to put some collage stuff on these. So I'm just going to rip up a few pieces of collage text stuff. And I'm going to rip off the straight edges. And the reason that I rip off the straight edges is just because I like the look of the torn edges better. She was thinking about Muppet. We don't want to offend the Muppet, do we? So although it's a loose, I mean, of course, everything's a loose rendition here for animal portraits. That's why they're mixed media portraits. Okay, so I have some music paper. So we have a song here called The Robin and Chicken. So I'm just simply ripping off the straight edges. Linda, that explains a lot. She says her dad always called her Crazy Muppet. So I'm just ripping up some text and music paper just because. Here we go. This is a good one. Fluffy ruffles and hot ivories. fluffy ruffles, and hot ivories. Okay, so I'm going to put these on. I just like the look of the torn edges. The straight edges are a little harder. They don't blend very well, and so that's why I take them off. It's a little easier to blend in the torn edges. And not that I'm going to actually blend them per se, but I just, you know, let's just say this, I like them better. How's that? Okay, so I'm just going to set this off to the side. So I'm going to set this off to the side. Oh, and I also have a little bit of Tim Holtz tissue paper, which I really like. So we'll take a little piece of that. So this is, what's the name of this one? It's tissue wrap. I don't know if it has a name. Postal. Postal. P-O-S-T-A-L-E. Maybe it's postal. And again, there are two things I don't like about the tissue, and only two things. I don't like the serrated edge, and I don't like the straight edge. So I usually pull those off. I just like it to look torn. So I'm just going to rip up a few pieces of this, and we'll do another section over there, and we'll call that enough ripping and carrying on. Now, there's nothing wrong with these edges. You can certainly keep them. It's just a personal... We all have our things that we don't like. You know what I mean? Okay, good enough. So I'm going to put those on. These two canvases don't necessarily have to go together. It's just easy to do them at the same time. Okay? Okay. So what I've got here is a little dish. This is my old glue brush. You can use whatever you want to put this stuff down. I'm going to use Collage Pauge. Hi, Lori. That is great. I love it when you guys talk. It's always fun to chat with you. I don't always see the chat, but I love chatting with you. Before I started out, I did put on gloves in a bottle. This is a shielding lotion. It does help the glue and stuff come off your hands after the whole thing, the process is over with, and that's why I do that. So I'm just going to add some glue. I'm going to add some glue to the back of my collage papers, and then I'm going to stick them down here. Now, I am going to paint around the edges of these, and so I'm not going to pay too much attention to the edges. But I put down the medium. Everybody has their own favorite way of collaging. And I don't know that I have a favorite way. I just, you know, here's what I find. I find the less I pay attention to the way that I collage, the more successful I am. So how about that? I find it easiest if I put the medium on the back of the piece, if I put it on the canvas, and then I slather it over the top as well. So we're going to put, and some of these will get covered up. And some of it is going to be upside down, because I really don't want anything to have a particularly right way around. Now, I'm not putting a huge gloppy coat of the medium, which is the Collage Pauge, and you can use a variety of mediums. As I said, this one just happens to be Collage Pauge. I personally don't care for Mod Podge, and the only reason is I don't like the smell of it. So, you know, some people really like it, and I say use what you like. The gloves are expensive in Norway. I'm sure they are expensive different places. So, you know, there are all different kinds of shielding lotions available. It's just good to have something on your skin. It's really important that you have something on your skin if you're working with certain materials. This is more, for me, this is more about being able to get the stuff off afterward. There are certain things that nothing helps. Alcohol ink is going to penetrate right through the shielding lotion. So, you know, it kind of has to wear off. Certain dyes, you need to use something that is stronger, a stronger shielding lotion than what this is even. Because you really don't want dyes penetrating into your bloodstream. So, you know, it depends on what you're using. And as to the level of the shielding lotion that you need. And shielding lotions and barrier creams are different from each other, I believe. A barrier cream, you'll have to read the labels and find out on the labels as to how much they guarantee protection, and also how often you need to reapply them. This particular one says that it does not come off with washing your hands, that it has to wear off over time. And I'm just getting some of the glue off my fingers because I got a little ridiculous. A lot of artists don't like the smell of it. Yeah, it's a fine product as far as I can tell. You know, I don't have anything against Mod Podge at all. Nothing. I just don't like the smell of it. Oop. Xandra, are you here? Look. Oops, I took that right off, which I didn't mean to do. Well, we'll put him back down. Xandra loves octopus, and there I am covering him right up. Xandra loves the octopus and all things to do with the sea. I'm a little creeped out by the octopus, tell you the truth. so I just put him right on down. There's Xandra. Yeah, I just glued that right on down. I knew that could be upsetting to her, so that's why I had to, well, there I ripped up another piece, honestly. Once this is dry, that won't be a problem. It helps if you apply the glue to the back of the paper somewhere else. That's right. Don't look, Xandra. Don't look. And if I don't get all the air bubbles out of this, I'm not going to worry about it, because this is just one of many, many, many steps to this background. Let's do this one. So those of you that might be unfamiliar with Nightbot, it is It is an app that's going to help us monitor some stuff and also be able to put stuff into the chat. And also it helps us do contests and drawings and things. So when you see little messages pop in there from Nightbot, that is from us. That is not, it's not spam or trolls or whatever else. It's legit. It's too legit to quit. Okay, so I got one more piece of paper here. I'm going to throw it on over here somewhere. And this is just to get something in the background. See if the Tim Holtz tissue will stay down this time. Okay, so that's where we are with that. So everything looks like it went down pretty. Nightbot is our friend. That's right. Be nice to the Nightbot. Nightbot's pretty powerful, so do be nice to him. Just saying. Be nice to the Nightbot. Okay, so there's that one. So you can see we just slapped some pieces of stuff on it. So we're going to just set that off to the side and let that dry. Okay? Okay. And this is the matte Collage Pauge that I'm using. Now I just have to find a place to set this. Okay. How about here? Just looking for space, which is always a challenge on Fridays. So this is the matte Collage Pauge that I'm using. So here we go again. We're going to put down some papers. And one of the reasons I'm doing 2 at a time is just because I thought it would be fun to see how they come out, because we're going to play around with 2 different looks. And just because I wanted to. And I'm working on an 11 by 14 canvas. Stretch canvas. When I'm doing collage stuff, I tend to work with matte products as opposed to gloss products, because I find that I like them better. I like the look better. Things tend to stick better to other matte products, in my opinion, than they do to gloss products. So there you go. That's the reason. But I also always say, try whatever you like. For every way there is to do something, there are a million other ways to do it differently. So just because I show you one way does not mean that's the only way to do it by any stretch of the imagination. And every so often, it also helps if you take a baby wipe and kind of wipe off the excess glue from your hands, because when you're doing collage stuff, you can build up the glue. I mean, I have a layer of glue on my hands already, but you can really build up the glue. Very quickly. You can get so much glue on your hands that you can't feel your, well, let's just say that your fingerprint's gone. So just checking my other one to make sure it's drying out okay. So I've disappeared for a second, but that's just because I'm checking my other canvas. Okay, back to this one. All right. I love this one that has the word chicken in it, so we'll put it up here where maybe it won't get totally covered. So it has the word chicken right here. Okay, so there you go. So we'll keep working here. Okay, lay down here now. These are canvases that someone gave to me, and they should work fine. Need some more glue. If you like to do collage, you're going to blow through a lot of glue. So, yeah, find one that you like and buy it in big quantities. And this brush, the reason it looks so cruddy is because I store it in water. All the time. Its permanent home is a big container of water. And I figure that when it finally goes away, I'll be, it's like, okay, that's the end of that brush. Get a new one. I've got plenty of old cruddy brushes, believe me. For some reason, this one piece of paper does not want to lay down and stick. Sometimes if you just keep working it, they'll lay down. But like I said, if there's texture on this, it is okay. We don't mind. Okay, let's just put this one right here. A lot of this will get covered up. That's okay. We don't mind. Could be the paper too. Sometimes the old paper, some of it lays down beautifully for collage, and sometimes it doesn't. So it just kind of depends on the... Janet Young could probably tell you more about that. She knows more about paper than any human should be allowed to know about paper. Because she used to work with paper. She was in the printing industry, I believe. Printing business. She knows lots of information about paper, let me tell you. If you got paper questions, direct them to Janet in the chat. Janet Young. She'll probably kill me for saying that, but, hey. Hey, she was clutching her pearls a little bit ago, so we want to bring her back down to earth. Hey, Becky. Yeah, that's true. Cygnus says that some glues wrinkle paper and some glues don't meet their promises. That's true. That's true. Okay. We'll just stick this one up here. Like so. Well, we want to put that in a different angle. So it's not going exactly the same way as the one it's next to. Okay, so we have some collage on this canvas. So let me take a look at the other canvas here, see how it's doing. It looks like it's going to be okay. All right, good enough. So give me just a second. I need to go put my brush in the water and wash my hands just a smidgen, and I will be right back. And we used up almost all the glue, so I'm not going to worry about saving that. I'll be right back. Okay, I got most of it off. And we're going to hit this with a little bit of heat. Let me check the Janet here. Hi, Cheryl. Yeah, Janet says it's all good. You know what they say about paybacks. Yeah, I know. Janet, get in your car and come on. Hurry. They're supposed to be here in the morning around 10, so get in your car and hurry. Okay. Alright, so I got most of the glue off my hands. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit this with heat gun. So that's what's happening here, folks. The heat gun. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Carol. Nice to have you join us. I really appreciate everybody being here, and those of you watching the recording, thank you for taking your time. Janet, you got plenty of time. Get in your car. They're not staying overnight. The guest bed's clean. Come on up. So a heat gun will help speed this process along a little bit. Quite a little bit. Hello, Ann May. Okay, we're almost dry enough I can move on. And if you rip a piece of paper, just rip it off. Hey, Jen. There's the famous Ozzy Grand, world traveler. Jen, tell Janet to get in the car. Hello, let's see. Itaya. Hello, Itaya. Okay. That one's dry enough. We'll hit the other one with a little bit of heat and then we'll come back to the first one, okay? So give me just a second more. We won't give it very much. We'll just give it a head start and we'll work on the other one. How's that? Wait, Janet, get away from those storms. Get in your car and get out of there. That's what I say. Get in that car and get out of those storms. Okay, we're going to call that good. I have a little piece here that the paper is loose, so I'm just going to add a little bit of white glue. And I've got another little piece right here. It's just where I didn't get enough of the collage medium. Sorry, the camera's, I know, blurring out here. Didn't get quite enough of the collage medium, so I'm just putting that on there. Okay, so we'll let that one sit and dry a little bit more, and we'll go back and work on the other one. The only reason I'm gluing these down on the sides, on the edges, is just to keep them out of my way so they don't flip up on me, because that irritates me. Okay, we'll set that one to the side. Let's check the other one and make sure that all the little edges or little side things are glued down. Here we need to do a little bit here. I hope Jen's bringing her famous coffee, because I don't have coffee. I do have a pot, however. I do have the pot, the kettle, as it were. Bye, Carla. Good to see you. Okay, so here is what we have going so far. This is still damp. Let me hit it just a little bit more heat. One of the advantages with a canvas, you can dry it from the back. Hi, Krissa. Okay, we're going to call it good. Okay, moving on. In a perfect world, you would let this sit and dry until it is bone dry. We're not in a perfect world. We're in stream world, so there you go. So I'm going to put some illegal fluids. I'm going to move my keyboard out of the way. Yeah. And we're going to put some illegal fluids, also known as water, in a big wide container. Don't tell Race that I did that. And I'm going to use a brush, and I'm going to put some gesso on this. This is just inexpensive gesso. This is a De La Rowney gesso. There's nothing magic about gesso. In my experience, whatever gesso you have usually works fine. So I'm wetting the brush to start with. It really helps to get the paint out of your brush if you will wet it first when it comes to acrylic paint. And then we're going to just add some gesso on this canvas over all this stuff to kind of blend it together, unify things a little bit. And if I don't get every single speck covered with gesso, it's okay. But it's just, you can tell the difference just in looking at what you have here versus what you have here. It just helps to unify things, and it just adds a kind of a ground, as it were, on top of the papers, on top of the medium. Acts as a primer. It kind of primes all the stuff that we put down there, kind of primes it. So it can accept paint. Maybe a little easier, and maybe that's my imagination, but it's my story and I'm sticking to it. So I just thought we would do something completely different this time. I don't think you guys have ever seen me do anything quite like this before. So I thought, oh, what the heck, we'll do something different. And you can just be a fly in my studio, and you can just kind of watch the way things develop around here sometimes. I made this up the other day, this process. Not that there's anything magic about collage and gesso and so forth, but taking my drawing and blowing it up and making it in fabrics that I had done. I hadn't seen anybody else do that. Not going to say that no one in the world has done it before me, but it was a thought that came to me, and I thought, myself, and I, we thought, well, we'll just go for that and see what happens. For those of you in the chat that are completely lost by the conversation that's going on, Aussie Gran, who is in the chat, is actually from Australia. She is currently here with her husband in the United States, and she has been making her way across the United States, visiting various people and seeing the sights of the United States. She's due in here tomorrow or tonight, whichever. We're supposed to get together in the morning. And so she has visited many of the people that are in the chat. And so they are chatting about various and sundry things that have to do with her visit. So if you're lost, that might be why. Okay, so I'm going to give this one just a little bit more heat, and then we'll gesso this one. Many of us have been online acquaintances for several years, and Jen, Aussie Gran, I call her Jen, also streams. She streams on Ustream, and the first time when I was just getting acquainted with online streaming things, I found a link from somebody, and I just clicked the link, which is dangerous sometimes because you don't know where you're going to go or what that link is going to go to. So I'm much more careful today than I was back then. Anyway, somebody that I trusted said, come over here to this streaming person's stream. And so I clicked the link and I went there, and I had no idea. I knew that the accent was different. I thought it was Australia. I wasn't sure. And I finally said, okay, where in the world am I? I was so very confused as to where I was. I didn't know who I was watching. She was doing artistic things, creative things, and I'm like, where am I? I felt so lost. It was crazy. Exactly. Sometimes you're down the rabbit hole. That is a fact. Yeah, I don't know if Jen remembers that or not, but boy, I was so confused. I mean, I really was confused. I was like, how did I get here? And who am I talking to? Who am I watching? It didn't take me but about 5 seconds after that to figure it out. But of course, they all had a good laugh, and you know, that's okay. You guys can laugh at me. It's fine. Yes. Lost inside. I needed somebody to send the posse for me because I really felt like I was down the rabbit hole, never to return again. That's probably how people feel when they show up here and I start talking about sponsors and all that kind of stuff, and then two big fat Siamese cats show up, and then there's somebody named Claus Man that shows up, and then there's somebody that we're talking about the technical department and illegal fluids and stuff like that. They probably don't know what in the world. Where in the world have they landed? No wonder people don't say anything for a while. They got to figure things out. Oh, cool. Barbara says she's coloring one of my mandalas while she listens and watches. That's cool. Okay, so we've just sort of unified the collage stuff, but you can still see it. You can still see the words and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to set that one off to the side. And clean this brush out a little bit. And the ugly woman. Yeah. Look how far I've come, Cheryl says. Yes, I found my way back from the edge of space. I found my way back. Okay, this little bit of water is not going to be enough. Barb Land. Clausman, you need to just knock it off. Don't encourage him about that ugly woman. I'll get my keypad back because I got to say something. Clausman, quit encouraging these people. That damn ugly woman is never going to die. Oh, she's truly one of those things where you want to say, bless her heart. Yeah. You watch, Jen's going to want to see the famous ugly woman. I'm going to hide it before she gets here. I'll hide it. We're all trying to forget the ugly woman, CB. We're all trying to forget the ugly woman. Okay, just getting the gesso and stuff off my hands here. Okay, the brush is clean enough for the moment. Let's just hope and pray I don't have a problem with any illegal fluids on the table because it's real hard to paint without them. You know what I mean? Time for tea break, folks. Cheers. Get Jen to paint it. There you go. See, Josie Webb knows the ugly woman. She knows. She knows. She knows about the ugly woman. Okay, let's go back to this canvas. Let's go back over here. So this is the first one, and we're going to have to shoot it with some heat again. This is the process of working mixed media. There's a lot of drying that has to go on. Unless you have everything stepped out, which I don't have 42 canvases in order to step this project out. So we're just going to have to put up with the drying issue. Janet says we should send the ugly woman back to Australia. That might be a good plan right there. That might be a good plan. I'm afraid another ugly woman would just show up. That's what I'm afraid of. Yeah, to be honest. No, Cygnus, she's not going to be a Madonna. She's really not. Poor old ugly thing. Poor old ugly thing. Whew. And I don't even mean that respectfully. She's ugly. I've even had some of you guys that are really nice that have given me some great suggestions for how to make her less ugly. No, there's no hope on that. Okay, so let's put this back this way. Now, I'm going to take a look at my sponsor here. Okay, what did Card Chick say? Oh, no, the ugly woman does not need an ugly man. No, no, Josie. No, 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 no. Okay, let's go for, I'm going to go with these colors for my background. I'm going to be using the Dina Wakley paints. That's what I'm going to be using. This is going to look incredibly bright, and then I will probably knock it back toward the end of this process. But we're going to make it super, super, super bright. Oh, you guys need to... Somebody here doesn't know about the ugly woman, right? All right, let me go get the ugly woman, because far be it from me to deny you guys from seeing the ugly woman who haven't seen her or met her. So I'll be right back. While we're showing you things, I'll show you we had a bit of a tragedy. Some of you might have watched me paint this bird probably a few months ago. You'll notice it doesn't look quite the same as it used to. We gave this bird to one of our clients who has 3 dogs. One of the dogs got a hold of this bird and just chewed it to bits. Ate part of its tail. It ate its head. I don't know. So the poor thing, if any of you remember what this bird once looked like, I mean, look, it's signed and everything, right? Some of you may remember what this bird looks like. So now it's going to have to get repainted. Clausman worked his magic to patch it and fix it. So now it comes back to me to fix the poor thing. So here's the ugly woman. Okay, here's the ugly woman, alive and well. If you guys don't believe that she's ugly, if you think she's pretty, you're crazy. Okay, this is the ugly woman. Her boobs are right here. Her waist is above her boobs. Her boobs are all the way sagging down. Her dress is not even big enough for her chest. Yes, this is the ugly woman. Okay? Just saying, you guys asked for it. Yes. I aim to please you guys. Poor old thing. Debbie has compassion for her. Debbie started a GoFundMe or something trying to save the ugly woman one time. That Debbie boring. You got to watch out for her. Yes, you do. Okay, so meanwhile, back to the canvas. Bless her heart. Bless her soul. That's right. Yeah, will I send the Chew Toy back? Yes, we're going to send it back. I'm going to repair it. We're going to send it back. We're going to send it back. Nightbot, don't ask about the ugly woman. That's right. You guys are on a roll today. Tangerine. So we've used lemon. We're going to use tangerine. And we're going to use ruby. So I'm going to start with just little bits of paint. I don't think it'll take very much. Close-up shot would be good. Oh, for crying out loud. A close-up shot of the ugly woman. Okay, there she is. Okay? Hello, Ellen. You love Mandala Madness? Good. You're welcome. Yes, there she is. See, there's her boobs hanging out. Yes. And her butt is ill proportioned to the rest of her. You see, she has her cheeks there. You see that? Claus man who can do things like this, who can carve things like this, and not only can he carve it, but he can repair it, you know, and then give it back to me to repaint it. Also carved this. Yeah. What happened to her nose? I have no idea what happened to her nose. You'll have to ask Claus man about that. All right, that's all the ugly woman talk there are. That's all the ugly woman talk we're going to have today. You guys can chat about her in the chat. All right, I'm going to paint. Let me get some paper towels here. Let's put some paint on this thing. So I'm wetting my brush again. I'm going to get a hold of some yellow, and I'm just going to go where the intuition tells me to go. How's that? I love this. I personally really like this paint. I like the texture of it. I like the color palette. Does have a bit of an odor to it, so if you are very sensitive to odors, you might need to know that. So we're just, tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to paint it this way, although this is not the way it's going to be displayed, but we'll paint it this way. Okay, then we're going to go to tangerine, and we're going to put tangerine on here. These canvases have some little divots in the corner, so I may have to do something. You can see it right there. There's one there and one there. May have to do something down the road to kind of embellish that or do something. So I'm just painting this as quickly as possible. I may have to pick up a little bit of water. Painting quickly so that things will blend together. I don't want any blobs of just one color if possible. One of the reasons I'm doing this color palette for the background, which is a warm color palette, is because the cat figure that I have ready for this is in cool colors. So contrast is good. Now, the colors that you're seeing on screen are not an accurate rendition of what this color palette is. You're seeing a lot of gold, and that is not what's going on here. There is actually yellow and orange. For whatever reason, the camera is not reflecting the colors accurately. So I'm going to take a quick second and show you what the colors really are like. So you can see that color palette. In fact, maybe we'll just paint right here. We'll just stay here because the color palette, you'll be able to see the accuracy of the colors a little bit better over here. So now this red is a really strong color, so we're just going to be a little more careful with that. But I want this to be super bright at the moment. And I need to go back to a little bit more tangerine to blend this. That red is real strong. At this point, I want to make sure that all the exposed canvas has paint on it. So that because you can see like this, there's a lot of the raw canvas sticking through. Well, it's not raw now because we put gesso on it. But at this point, what I want to do is I want to get everything kind of covered, kind of blended, and just play around with the color and see where we go. I may have to come back and put some yellow back on top. And right now, because I'm working with a little bit of a time crunch here, trying to keep everything kind of wet. I'm not watching the chat, so hang on to your questions. If you don't want things to blend, you can always use your heat gun and dry it, and then you can come back in. And if you do that, then you can keep your colors nice and clear and separated. What I'm after is a blend of colors. With a little bit of individuality. How's that for clear as mud? This is the kind of stuff, unless you are going for something very specific, this is the kind of thing that to me is fun to just simply play and just see where it takes you. It will let you know where it wants to go. You know, don't worry about it. Okay, I'm going to get a little bit more yellow out and put it on my palette, just a little bit. And put a little bit more yellow here and there. So what I'm after is just a real painterly background, which means nothing very distinct should result. Should be a lot of color, a little bit of stuff peeking through from behind from the collage. And it helps if you pick it up and look in the light, which is what I'm doing, to see if I can identify places where the canvas is glaring at me. And if it is, I'll put a little bit more paint on my palette. I personally don't like the look of raw canvas peeking through, so that is one reason that I go all different directions with the brush, and I can always come back over it later. As long as I know what colors I've used, I can come back over it later and touch it up if need be. And then every so often do what I'm doing, which is turn it around and look at it from different angles, and that will help you identify any spots that you need to add a little bit more. And by putting a little bit of water in your brush, that thins the paint just enough that it kind of will settle into that canvas. Okay, not too bad, not too bad. So you can kind of get the idea. Okay, I'm just giving you a good look so you can still see the collage stuff behind. There's a little bit strong yellow hanging out there. Okay, let me take a good look at it. Looks pretty good. Okay, now what I want to do is go back to the heat gun yet again. Oh, good, Chrissa. I'm glad you feel that way. Hey, Kathy. Nice to see you. Dragonfly, Kathy. Hi, Jess. And anybody else I might have missed. I'm so glad you're here. Hi, Tina. Thank you for joining me on a Drama-Free Friday. Another one. Okay, this one is pretty much dry, and so I'm going to set it off to the side. Let me give you an idea. Now this is going to have one more treatment done to it, so the color is going to change significantly, but just to give you an idea of what's going to happen. Do you see, the importance of contrast of color? So he's predominantly cool colors. The background is predominantly warm colors. So as I said, this is going to change some more, but just so you kind of have, just so you can kind of see where I'm going. Okay, let's go back to the other one. A little bit more heat gun. Okay, we're going to call that good. All right. The three colors I'm going to use on this one are, if I can get a hold of them, turquoise, blackberry violet, and magenta. So this one we're using cool colors, just because I want them to be a little different from each other. So let me put some paint on my palette. So I'm not using great gobs of paint. You can see I've got way much red, way much red left over. And so before we go any further, I'm probably going to just scrape that into a journal. So if you give me, whoops, indulge me just a little bit. going to grab one of my journals here because that's too much paint to waste, let me tell you. So we're just going to grab an empty page here, like this one. Who knows what's on there? And I'm just going to scrape that paint. Which will be a good jumping off place for, and we'll just take the other colors that are left. And smear them in the journal. That way I use up the paint. Okay, then we'll just set it off to the floor and let it dry. Meanwhile, back to the canvas. Okay, so let's see if I can get this right here where you guys can see it so it makes sense with the world, kind of. All right, let me get my brush rinsed out a little bit, and then we're going to go and slop in this background. Not really, but, you know, kind of. In other words, it's not meant to be, you know, perfectly painted. So I do have a little bit of water on my brush. And as the water works its way, some of the other colors that I used a little bit ago, you may pick up some orange tones or yellow or whatever. That's okay. So a little here, a little there. And then let's go to the turquoise. Suddenly she goes quiet. And why did she go quiet? Because all of a sudden I started thinking about something. I don't know what. You guys ever have those moments where you just get totally lost in your own thoughts? Please say I'm not the only one. Okay. Linda says no, that doesn't tell me anything. Does that mean no, that you don't do it, or no, you don't know what I'm talking about? Yes, I'm the only one. There you go. Got it. That's what Linda, why did I assume that that's what you meant? Okay. So, now I'm going to be careful with the blackberry violet because I think this is going to be one strong color. Kind of like the red was in the other palette. If I don't control it, I will turn everything blackberry violet. Yeah, whenever you need to do something important, you just like get lost in your own head. So Janet, did you get in your car yet? Janet Young? She's probably going to get in her car and just come surprise the heck out of us. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just adding paint. Then I'm going to come back and I'm going to blend it together. So and when you're doing stuff like this, keep turning it around so that you don't get attached to just one section. On the other one, yes, you can. This one, you can't see it at the moment because I'm, just because. It's going to give you an answer. It's like, no, you can't. Well, you can see it a little bit. Sometimes you just have to stop talking. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just need to hush. Okay, so we've pretty much got the paint on here, so now it's a matter of blending it. So I'm going to put some more pink on. Exactly, just because I said so. Just because. Put a little more pink on my palette because I used all that up. And a bit more turquoise. It is a beautiful turquoise color. Did Janet ever answer me? Is she on the way? She's not answering me. She's avoiding my question. Okay, so I've rinsed out the brush just a little bit just to get excess paint out. Drying it off really well. Gonna come back and pick up some pink and then start blending colors together. And pick up a little turquoise here and there when if I lose it. There's the Nightbot again. Nightbot's on the job, isn't he? The Nightbot. We need to give the Nightbot a name, don't we? And as I said on the other one, you have to keep turning. If you have overhead lights and stuff, you'll have to keep turning it so that you can catch the naked canvas, because we don't want naked canvas here. Janet, did you answer me? Are you headed this direction? I keep missing it if you do, if you are answering it. I'm talking to Janet Merle. Janet Merle Young. I think she's ignoring me. Not yet. Gotcha. Okay, well, hurry up. Get in your car. Silly girl. Listen, I don't want to have to clean my house. I don't want to have to clean my house the next time you decide to blow into Columbia. You better come now. I'm just teasing. I had to say it. Okay, So just adding a little more paint here and there, a little more color. Okay, Janet, good. It's a deal. Yeah, I have to say, Linda, that the collage on this one, these colors must be more opaque. The collage on this one is not showing through as much as it did on the warm colors. So I'm going to get more texture from the collage than I am actual visual, you know, vision. It's more physical texture, edges of things, than I'm going to get by the physical texture. Oh, you know what I'm saying. Never mind. I'm going to stop talking now and just paint. Painting and talking is a challenge for me. I do like what the colors are doing together, though. I do like that. It's really nice to paint when you can see in a monitor on the screen. It's just nice to be able to look into the monitor and actually have a different perspective. I highly recommend it. Or take pictures of what you're doing. You know, take a camera, like your phone camera, hopefully, if you have one, and take pictures of it and look at the pictures in your camera. You'll see things that you do not see when your nose is right up against it when you're painting. Just squirting out a little bit more paint. Now, if you want to control the amount of paint, you could put this paint on with baby wipe or, you know, something of that sort, so you're not putting it on as thickly. Because it is quite a surprise to me how much that, how opaque these colors are. And how much they blurred out the collage. But hey, that's how you learn. You do stuff and you go, yeah, I didn't think that was going to happen. Well, that's cool. You know, oh, I don't like that. Oh yeah, well, I like the colors, but the effect is not what I was going for. You know, it's one of those kinds of things. That's how you learn, right? Okay, we're just about done slapping paint on this dude. Close. We're close. Cat hair is a condiment at your house, Dawn? Yeah, it's a staple. It's a staple around here. So is Muppet hair. And everybody's shedding right now. Everybody's shedding. Okay. Just about got it to where we're going to call it good. Okay, just because I want to stop, we're going to call it good. So let me show you the difference. Okay, see on that one, there's still a little bit of canvas showing here and there I need to work on, but you got the idea. On that one, the collage pieces pretty much completely disappeared. As opposed to this one, you can see the collage pieces coming through. So very interesting in the way that the different colors of paint respond. And that's cool. It's good to know. Okay, let's put this one aside. All right, so let's Linda likes them both. Good. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I have some stamps. See if this is dry enough to... Let me hit this with the heat gun just a wee bit. Then we're going to put some stamping on it. Thanks, Linda. Linda and Linda. Now, it's not going to stay this bright color, just so you guys know. Don't get attached to this. Don't think it's going to stay this bright. So it's already after 3 o'clock here. We probably won't get too much further than with this, so yeah, you guys will have to come back next week and see what happens next. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop here in a minute of stop working on this, on the canvases, because I want to show you how I created the critters, as it were. So these are just some cheap stamps that I had from, I got them at Tuesday Morning for $3. It's a set of cat stamps, and there's a cat foot in there, so I'm going to use that. And then this one is some circles, just some circles. And so I'm going to use the big one of the circles, just because I like the contrast of it. And then we might use some of this, whatever this is, you know, just florally looking thing. So let's take a piece of, well, we'll just take the big one. This is actually in 3 pieces. You can put it all together or use just part of it. So we're going to do a little stamping here and there. And I'm just going to use some black Archival ink. So let's start out with the circles. And I don't care about getting complete impressions. I'm just after, more than anything, just after the visual texture of it. Okay, good enough. And then we might use just a wee bit of this, whatever this is, this viney looking, scrolly looking thing, just a little bit here and there. Just so we have a little bit that kind of creeps around the outside edge, like so. Okay, so we've got a little bit of that going on. And now, because it looks way too formal, we're going to use a cat foot, because that's pretty much how everything goes around here. You know, there's animal hair, or this won't stick to that. I don't know what I'm thinking. Hold on. My brain took a hiatus for a minute. So I'm not inking these up real well. And just because we don't want everything going the same direction, we're going to let some kind of sneak around the outside. Okay, so we've got a little bit of stamping going on. Okay, so we've got a little bit of stamping going on. All right. So that gives you a little bit of visual texture. Okay, what else I'm going to do on this is I want to put a little bit of stenciling on it. Just some spots, because who doesn't like a good spot, right? So this is called the Circle Grid. This is from the Crafter's Workshop. That's the number TCW203. All right, so let's do, I'm going to just use some, let me hit this with a little bit of heat again. The question is, why do I always do more than one thing? Because I often have to have things stepped out in stages for the classes on the website, and so I'm just used to it. I'm just used to doing things in multiples. So I'm just using some of the turquoise because it was on the palette. Here and there. Because I don't edit videos, what I do is I edit everything in real time, which means that's why you see the multiple camera shots, because we do things in real time. And so I try to have everything stepped out ahead of time, which requires multiple pieces. So you have to have, you either edit stuff after the fact or you edit ahead of time by preparation. So, you know, it's just a matter of what you do, how you get used to doing things, what works, you know, what works for you and stuff like that. So I guess that would be the answer. It's the best answer I have. Does that work? So I'm just using the stencil in order to give me a guide for the circles. And also, the other reason is when I take pictures afterwards, it always makes the pictures look better to have the frame filled up with enough stuff. Otherwise, if I just take a picture of one little one little lonely whatever, it usually looks pretty pathetic. So that's the other reason. Okay. Put one more up here somewhere, and then we're going to call this one done for now, and then we'll probably revisit it next week. And that will do that. Yeah, finger painting is pretty good stuff, I have to say. And then I'm just wiping off the stencil with a paper towel just to get the excess paint off of it. Okay, so here's where we are so far. You can take a good look at that because it's going to change, but you know, it gives you something to look at. And I'm going to set this off to the side somewhere here and and I'm going to leave the other one, the other canvas, I'm going to leave it alone for now. We're not going to do that. I do want to show you how I created the fabric pieces, the fabric collage pieces. So let me put the paint. Actually, let me use up this paint just because I don't want to let it go to waste. So this is my journal that we scraped the red paint into. And we're just going to put this paint on this page. And that way we don't waste it. Gives us something to work with. Okay, good enough. Okay, so let me put this away, and then if you guys can see this place after a stream, you would just be like amazed that it ever looks like a studio again. Okay, what I did is I took my dog picture or the cat pictures, whatever, blew it up to 165%. That's just what I decided I liked. Then I took tissue paper. Okay, I took tissue paper. All right. What are we up for, Jen? Are we streaming? Yeah, we can stream tomorrow. Absolutely. So we'll probably do an impromptu stream when Jen gets here tomorrow. So this is tissue paper. Tissue paper. Tracing paper. I consistently will call this tissue paper. It is tracing paper. I took the tracing paper and laid it over the dog. And I traced off all the little bits. Okay, so there's a body. There's a head. There is a right ear. And every place that it needed to overlap, like it needed to go under something, I added extra. This is the other ear. We have a leg and a leg. Okay, so this is just all tracing paper, and this is going to be just done with something other than fabric. Okay? And from there, I will get my pile of fabric, and I'm using fabrics that I've created. like so. Let me get rid of the water. Illegal fluids off the table so I don't knock it over. So what I have is a pile of fabric. These are all fabrics that I've painted or stenciled or jelly plate printed. Some of them the cat puked on and I had to wash them. Yeah, it happens around here. Yes, it does. This would be one of those. This was a really beautiful piece of fabric until Charlie puked on it and it had to go through the laundry. And then I'm still using it, just using it in different ways. But yeah, that happens. That's life. That's real life. Okay, so let's take a piece. Let's see, what piece do I want to use for her body? Let's take this one. Those of you with cats know exactly what I'm talking about. Don't tell me you don't. Okay, so we're going to use this for her body, or the body of the dog. I'm saying her, but you know, it's whatever. And because the tracing paper is transparent, you can look through it, or translucent, you can look through it and decide how you want it to look. What color do you want it to pick up? You know, what section do you want to use? And I will cut something just straight out of the middle of it. I like that, so that's what I'm going to use. I'll cut it straight out of the middle. That doesn't bother me at all. I'm using the Frixion Pens. Okay, this is Frixion. The Frixion pen. Comes in blue, red, and black. I'm using the black one. And I'm going to just draw around the edge. Now, tracing paper is quite thin, so it does not give you an edge to draw around. So I just kind of hold my fingers down. And go around the edge. Okay, so there is the body of the dog. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to cut this out. And whether I cut on the line, if I leave the line, it's totally not going to matter here in a minute. But it does not make any difference to me if I cut something out of the middle of this piece of fabric, because I've got plenty of other fabric. And the other thing is, I can make more. So let's pick something for her head. I'm going to take something out of this one, just because it's the first one I grabbed. So I'm going to take the head and I'm going to just do the head pattern right here, just because I can. Is that where I want it? Maybe I want it here. I'm going to take it out here. So make sure when you do this that you grab a Frixion pen if you're going to use the technique that I'm showing you. Not a regular gel pen or a regular ballpoint pen. It must be the Frixion pen. And if the fabric is too dark to show, for the pen to show up, then you may have to use a chalk marker of some kind, or a white colored pencil. But the white colored pencil is always going to show. Chalk marker will disappear, usually. Okay, I'm just chunking this out because it's going to be easier for me to do the detail from a smaller piece. Then after I get all the pieces cut out, if they are nice and stiff, which this one, for example, is really stiff. This one is kind of flimsy because it doesn't have a lot of paint on it. If they're nice and stiff, I can take it straight to the sewing machine and I can stitch around the edge. Just because I like the stitching detail. You don't, you can do that or not. I just happen to like it. If the fabric is flimsy, like this one, so for example, that's going to be, the head, okay, however it goes. So here's the body, and there's the head, like so, okay. This one's flimsy, so what I do to get around that, or to help me, is I use an iron, and this kills two birds with one stone, because that pen, it's a friction pen, it goes away with heat, and so that black line, if there's any black line left, it's going to go away. So I'm just going to, this is an ironing board here, little portable ironing board. So you can use any kind of starch stuff. I like the starch alternative, Best Press. And then I'm just going to starch the stuffing out of it. And then that takes away all the black line, because that goes away, that pen goes away with heat. It only works with the friction pens, however. It does not work with gel pens. If it's not stiff enough, I'll give it another going over. And you can get it stiff enough that then the sewing with the sewing machine works better. Sewing machines are not designed to sew on one layer of fabric. That's why you must stiffen them up or put a stabilizer behind them. But you can see now this is much stiffer than it was before. The body fabric, as you can see, has a lot of black lines around the edges. See the lines around here? I just turn it over so the paint side is down, hit it with heat. And the friction pen goes away. So that is a slick trick. Slick trick. So I would just continue cutting out all the pieces, which is what I did for the cats. I just cut out all the pieces, and then I used my sewing machine. I'm not going to tell you it was the easiest thing in the world to do, because it wasn't. But I stitched around the outside edge of every piece except for the eyes. I'm going to do something different for the eyes. But I like the stitching detail, and so that's why I added the thread. So they're actually stitched all the way around the edges. And then I simply glued the pieces together. And to do that, I put a piece of parchment paper over my pattern just so that I didn't stick the so I didn't glue the stuff down to the paper. So I laid this on here like so, because I can see my pattern through the sheet, the parchment paper. So then I know about how much this is going to need to overlap. And then I take some just tacky glue. I put a little glue on here, line those pieces up, and then glue them together. So effectively what I'm doing, what I did was make one big applique. Okay? But the stitching has to be done first. You can't stitch it afterwards. Okay? What is the purple thingy? What purple thingy? I don't know what purple thingy. Linda, I don't know what purple thingy you're talking about. Sorry. Okay. So, that gets you up to where I am today at the cat's belly. That's the cat's front feet. That's the cat's front feet. These are his back feet. Legs and feet. Okay. So that's where I'm going to stop on this one today, and we will pick this up next week and work on it again. All right, let me stick those in here and let me get the sponsors out because there's almost enough room for them to get on the table today. Almost. Not quite. Hey, buddy, you coming out? You coming out? Okay. All right. There you go. Ouch. You just clawed my hand. You did. You just clawed my finger. All right. Let's see if we can figure out where you are. Yeah. Let's see if we can find you. Uh-oh. My monitor just went away. Well, that is bad. Well, okay, we'll figure that out later. Okay. Are you coming up too? Huh? Are you? You coming up? What I just did to myself, but I just disabled one of my monitors. Okay, well, we're just going to pretend that you guys can see me. I'm assuming you can. All right. You want up here too? No, you can't come up. You're coughing. Okay. So here is said sponsor, and Charlie's on the floor coughing, so we're not going to put him up here today. You can, Sandy. Okay, thank you. I just lost my monitor. I'm assuming something just came unplugged. All right, here's Chance. Charlie's on the floor coughing, so you know what we're going to do? We're going to say thank you for joining us today. And remember that the Mandala books, the link to the Mandala books is down below in the description box. What else do I have to tell you? Still have some Fun Faces stamps left. Not very many, but there are some. So if you are interested in getting stamps, you're welcome to do that. And oh, Charlie's fine. He just coughs. It's the time of year when shedding is really a problem. So yeah, he just coughs from time to time. Okay, Mandala books, Fun Faces rubber stamps. There's still some available. We are down to the very final quantities now. Can you come up here without coughing? He's down here talking about it. He wants his time, you know. There you go. Okay. Oh, your eyes are all cruddy. Yeah, you look terrible for the world. You look terrible for the world. How are you? You got cruddy eyes too. Goodness gracious. Nobody washed their faces before they came on, I tell you. All right, that's it. I'm just rambling. I will see you guys next week. Remember to get creative today because you know it's easy. And I will see you guys next week. And we'll pick up this project from here and keep going. See you later. Bye, everybody.